Hey y'all. So I just wanted to make this video today because I'm undergoing something new in my life that nobody really knows about unless you know me personally. Like unless you really know me. And nobody hardly really knows me. I don't let people in. But anyways, um this has been a long time coming. I never thought I would go through with it. But recently I made a life, changing decision. And when I made that decision, um, I thought it out. I did a whole bunch of research, watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos that continue to inspire me and everything like that. And I was like, is this something I really want to do? I remember I even talked to a friend about it before I did it. And he was like, just make sure you have a good support system. And I didn't have that. I didn't. And he was like, he didn't think I would go through with it at first. And I kind of didn't either. I was scared. But I went to that appointment and I went through with it. So what I did was something that I always hesitated about because of my spiritual beliefs. I've always had this constant battle of spirituality versus my sexuality. I've always identified as a homosexual. Um, Anybody, growing up, I used to be so ashamed of it. Like, I would be like, when people would say, "Are you gay? Are you gay, DeVar?" And I'd be like, no. I might say no, or like I might be evasive when they ask me that. But it was like, I used to wonder to myself, why do I get so ashamed, or why do I get so angry when people ask me that if it's true, when I knew it was true deep down inside. So when I came out when I was 18, it was just freeing for me. That was my first time coming out. So that kind of sets up what I'm about to talk about. And I'm sorry, my nose kind of stuffy. I'm trying to breathe and talk at the same time. But recently, about a month ago, I started taking hormones to transition as a transgender. So, like I said, I never thought I would go through with it, but I did. And I was shocked. But I'm so excited now. What I had to do, they actually changed the law. You no longer have to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist and set up an appointment and get a letter of recommendation from a psychiatrist saying that you can transition. They changed some of the law. Now some doctors, they may still go by that, but when it comes to it, what you can do now is you can just find you a doctor, an endocrinologist, which is what I did. I want to thank the psychiatrist or the psychologist I had reached out to and just told me this information instead of just taking my money. I went to endocrinologist and I walked in. He said, "What are you looking to do?" I said, "I want to transition." And he said, "Let's get you started on some hormones." That simple. I had to take some lab work to make sure my health was in good shape. Next visit, he wrote me the prescriptions. It was all she wrote. So it was a very simple process. Um, it's not a decision you just make overnight. It's a decision that you probably would have contemplated about. It's something you need to research about. This can affect your health. Taking these medications, I want to say they have some effect like on your kidneys or liver or something like that. And they have to monitor your health over time. Over time, I'll be sterile, so I won't be able to have my own children. So like about after 3 months, that's all out. I just kind of want to show you the medications I'm taking. I'm taking estradiol. I don't know how to pronounce that, but estrogen. I take it as an injection, and I just shoot it in my leg. I want to show y'all this long needle. I don't feel like taking it out of the bag. But anyways, it's a very long needle. It's like 1.5 inches that I like literally stick like right here in my thigh. You have to stick it inside the muscle, so you go straight down into your muscle. I'm also taking, and the estrogen, that just basically provides like the feminizing effects. I'm also taking spirulina lactone. That's like a testosterone blocker. So it helps to block the testosterone in my system that my body naturally produces since I'm a male, or I was born male. And it helps to help the feminization process. I told y'all my nose stuffy. Finasteride, that's for like my hair, so that my hair grows faster, the hair on my body slows or decreases, kind of changes maybe the texture, or something like that. That's what that's for. And progesterone, I'll take that to help with breast development. The changes I've noticed so far, I would say when it comes to like my chest area, I've always had like boy fat. Like this is normal to me here. So I can't say that my chest has grown any. I've always had, like to where I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing new. So, but I will say like the nipple area, I've noticed that like one morning I woke up and it was harder than it's ever been, like sticking out, both of them. And like when I push on them now, it's like a tenderness type feeling. It's not pain, but it's tender. So that's really the only change I've noticed so far. I can't say I've noticed any emotional changes. That's another thing. You may expect like because you're messing with your hormone levels, you might experience some emotional changes. Might be snappy or whatever the case may be. So be careful, be mindful of that. But I was already emotional before I started, so I don't notice any change there. Let me see. And this is like my first time making a video of like just showcasing my life or whatever. So y'all bear with me, and I'm gonna just be myself. I'm not gonna try to be perfect or anything. I'm just gonna be natural. That's all I know. So I thought about some names. My name is Dabari, and a name I thought I could change to is Didi. That might be like it transfers over nicely with my name being Dabari. But that sounds like a nickname to me. So I thought about like Natasha. That's my mom's middle name. And like I don't mind my nails because it's like cheap nail polish. But my mom doesn't support this at all. But that don't mean I can't take her name. So, but me and her like are not talking right now. I love her dearly, but she has never supported, even when I was gay or anything. Like she didn't support that. But I knew she loved me, and I know to this day she loves me. But she will never be able to grasp the idea of what I'm doing right now. And so me and her have had to take a break. My dad and me, we're gonna probably have to take a break too. I don't really have a lot of people in my corner, family wise. I don't. I did tell one cousin the other day, and she was just like, oh, I'm so happy for you. That's the type of love I need from somebody. I don't need people judging me, because y'all are not perfect. Y'all are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. People love to put, gay people or LGBT on a certain level that's judge us harder than everybody else, and I don't accept that. I'll tell you real quick. What you do, what's in your closet. So anyways, let me get back on track. Like I said, my family is not supporting me. Most of my family not supporting me because of spiritual things. But I want to thank the friends I've had in my corner. In another video, I'm going to probably go into depth about one of my friends who I'm not really friends with at this time. And I don't know if we'll be friends in the future, because that was a whole situation in itself. It's a very interesting, that's a long story. But he actually inspired me to do this in a way. So we'll talk about that another time. But He'll know who he is. We have a bond. You know who you are. And I still have love for you, but you did me wrong. But I want to thank my other friend. I've had, some good friends in this lifestyle that, are supportive and um, gave me good feedback and everything. But I wanna shout out one of my friends, and I can't say his name. A lot of people that I deal with, they not out in the open or whatever the case may be. But I want to shout out one of my friends. He told me one day, he said, "DeBari, I'll always be your friend." And I never, you know, before I met him, I probably would have never thought we would be friends because we're two different type of, we're different in a way. I've always thought that, I've always been real careful when it came to straight guys. But this guy, he's different. He sees life. He's on another level with how he thinks. And you know who I'm talking about. I have so much love for you too. You a good friend, and thank you so much for being there for me. But I would say, if you're gonna do this, I wanted to make this video to be helpful towards other, for others too. Just think it out. Don't make a rash decision. Shoot, I might have made a rash decision when I did it, but it's something I had thought about before, so I don't even care, and it's my life. And you might be able to take the same stance, but just realize that this does, you might mess up some relationships with some people, but you can live in stealth. If you feel like you're not ready to come out to people, you don't notice the effects right away. So you can, get your doctor, get whatever the case may be, start your medication, and just keep dressing as a boy, like I'm doing. Keep dressing as a boy, and most times you can kind of keep that appearance up. Now, if you get real big breasts or whatever the case may be, that might be different. People might start to wonder, but for the most part, you can kind of play it off like nothing's going on. But once you start adding the lashes and, the makeup, and I did my makeup today. It's a real natural look. I just put gloss on, lip liner, a little bit of highlight, eyebrows done, foundation. That's it. I don't be doing like all the little eyeshadows and stuff all the time. I like a simple look for like every day. So I might do a video about like how I do that one day. But like when it comes to this afro, I've never been a big fan of like afros, but I have to grow my hair out. I had told my daughter, how am I gonna get past like looking a mess? And he was like, you just gonna have to grow it out. So that's what I'm doing, because I don't want to have to be dependent on wigs and stuff like when I do decide to do whatever I do. But I just be playing in it all the time, like twisting it. But I'm gonna have to look like Florida Evans for a little bit, and that's okay. We're gonna rock that Florida Evans. Anyways. Make peace with yourself before you do something like this. Weigh the pros and the cons. Make sure it's safe for you, but don't ever be. I'm trying to learn to not think so much about what people say about me or what people think, and this will be the biggest test for me. But don't ever. The world goes on. People come and go. Don't allow other people to take away something that means so much to you. If they have to go, they have to go. You got to keep pushing. That's it. I hope I can inspire somebody else because I've been inspired by other YouTube videos and other things I've seen online and other people in my life. I have a friend. I don't like saying people's name if I ain't really talked to them about it. So I have a friend who is a trans, and I never thought that they would have wanted to do that when I first met them, when they were, presenting as just a male. And they're so strong to me. They're so strong to me. And they were another person that inspired me. And they just live their life. They do their thing. They live fearlessly, But you know who you are. I only have one trans friend, and you know who you are. We haven't talked lately, but you know who you are. And but Y'all, my hair is like I said, I be playing in it, so don't think. If it is nappy, it's nappy, but I love my nappy hair. It's African American, kinky, curly. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see my curls. Can't see my curls, my naps, whatever you want to call it. Um, yeah. So, I don't know what else to say. Just keep your head up. It's hard out here just being a part of the LGBT, but it's hard being a black person. It's hard being a woman. It's hard. Um, it's so many different things. It's hard being a black man. You know, it's so many different things that's hard in life, and you just have to deal with the cards you're dealt. And some people will say, this is a decision you made for yourself. Yeah, it's a decision I made for myself, but it's unfortunate, you know, that in the world that, you know, people are so hateful and things like that, and don't allow others to live their lives authentically how they feel like they should live their life. But like I said, I'm working on not thinking about what people have to say about me, the looks, the stares, whatever the case may be. Um, make sure you're strong enough to handle what you're about to partake in if you decide to do this. I'm just excited about my journey. I'm looking forward to all the changes I'll have going forward. Like I said, so far, just the nipple sensation. Um, I know when I first started hormones, I was waking up like in cold sweats. I was waking up real sweaty and cold in the middle of the night or the next morning. The pillow would be kind of like wet. Um, that's all I can say right now. I wanted to kind of just give updates on what my experience is thus far on this hormone replacement therapy. But I want to thank y'all so much for listening to me ramble on. I hope I was able to help somebody. And thank y'all so much.